Arkansas fans, it's time to have a heart-to-heart. Because I am thoroughly convinced that no fan base anywhere in any American sport, from college to pro, has endured more heartache and pain and agony than Arkansas has. And Saturday was simply just a reminder of what we've seen. You know what they remind me of? Arkansas's like that kid with the peanut butter allergy who's actually pretty cool. And when something good starts to happen for him, he just has these crazy allergic reactions out of nowhere. And you've got to like call the ambulance, and he's swelling like crazy, and you have to take him to the hospital. You know, that's kind of like Arkansas right now from an SEC standard, because this loss to Memphis, a lot of people view it and say, oh my gosh, how on earth do you lose a game like that? But to an Arkansas fan, this is like a regular Saturday. This is a yearly occurrence. Like, I go back, this reminded me 2024. Okay, let's go to Oklahoma State. They were the first team ever with 550 plus yards in a game, and to gain a team by 250 plus yards and lose. They lost that game against Oklahoma State despite doing that. They finished that year 6-6. 2023, they were 4-8. They played BYU at home. They outgained them 424 to 281. They had more passing yards, more rushing yards, more yards per play, more first downs. They lost the turnover battle 3-1. They lost the game 31-38 against a Keaton Slovis-led BYU team on the road. 2022, Liberty. Lost to Liberty. Outgained them 428 to 315. Had more passing, more rushing yards, more yards per play, more first downs. They lost the turnover battle 4-2. They lost the game 21-19. And now this. So first, I think you have to ask, why are these games so close? But also, this isn't just football. Like, if I was just telling you Arkansas football, the heartbreak they've dealt with, I'd only be telling you a sliver of the story. I mean, remember, Texas Tech, ncaa tournament this year, double-digit lead, under 5 minutes to go. Blew the lead, lost, season over. Okay. College World Series this year, a few months ago, LSU. There was a base hit to the outfielder. Arkansas's got a big lead. The outfielder slips and falls. This is in the 9th inning. Arkansas had a three-run lead going into the 8th inning at one point. They blew that lead, and they lost the game, season over. And I go back, College World Series, like 5 or 6 or so years ago against Oregon State. Pop fly. All that you have to do is catch the pop fly, which is a 99 out of 100 times catch, and then bam, you win the College World Series, you win the national championship. He got caught in the sunlight, or the light, and the ball fell to the ground. Oregon State scored a bunch of runs and won, and Arkansas is eliminated. No fan base has lost like this routinely in anything. And I think it's time that we label this. I'm going to call it the curse of Arkansas. And until it's broken, I'm going to label it as this. Because 1 time, 2 times, maybe 3 times, okay. But this is, this is a theme. And you know, Arkansas's athletic director, Hunter Yurosek, made a lot of headlines this week. And he had a quote that I'm going to unpack.
Well, I will tell you that there's a big canyon within the SEC where we sit at a $181 million budget, and there's multiple schools that are over $300 million for their operating budget this year. That's within the same conference. But at the same time, I'll tell you, like, I know the focus is on football, and we all want to win in football, but at the same time, those schools have been outspending us for the last decade, and we've still won more SEC championships among more sports than any school in the SEC. And so I think we're doing just fine at the University of Arkansas, and I think we're set up to win a national championship in men's basketball moving forward. We know we're set up to win a national championship in baseball moving forward, and I think we're set up in several other sports to win a national championship. Football, where we are right now, we're not set up to win a national championship. I'll just be brutally honest with that. But I think we're set up to compete really well in the Southeastern Conference, especially now with the new revenue sharing model.
I think this Arkansas front office needs to take a firm look in the mirror and say, who do we want to be? Because my question is, what do you mean when you say you're set up to compete in the SEC? Okay, Arkansas hasn't had a 10-win season since 2011. I was in second grade. And for context, this is a team that's had 14 conference championships in their history. They have national championships, and their fan base is bought in. They're at the top 25 consistently in college football attendance. They're getting 65,000 at least fans per game. So the history is there to at least compete in the SEC. The buy-in is there as well. So have we just lost that standard in Fayetteville? Have we? Because, and I look at this, look at Arkansas after this loss to Memphis and say, what direction are they heading? You know, when you have a bad loss like this, maybe you can look at the recruiting and look at the coaching and say, okay, you know what? This is a bump in the road, but the road is leading somewhere. Where is this road leading right now? Because in 2025, only 2 SEC schools were outside the top 30 in recruiting. You know who they were? Vanderbilt and Arkansas, according to 247. Arkansas in 2026, you know where they are right now? 33rd. They should not be getting out-recruited by Kentucky and Mississippi State. And they have consistently been out-recruited by those 2 schools. If you're out-recruited by, Texas and Bama, Georgia, Tennessee, those guys, fine. That totally makes sense. But Arkansas is 24th in reported football department revenue in the country, okay? That's not Texas level, but that's actually higher than South Carolina, that's higher than Ole Miss, and that's higher than Missouri. All of these programs are recruiting at a top 20 class annually, year in and year out. Arkansas is not. So my point to say is Arkansas set up to compete in the SEC right now? Because Arkansas, they may not be Alabama or Texas or Georgia, but dang it, they can be Missouri. They can be Ole Miss. They can be South Carolina, and they haven't been. You are 15th out of 16th in your conference in recruiting. You haven't posted a winning conference record in a decade. And the fan base is bought in. You're getting really good attendance. That's a loyal fan base you've got right there. And they're not living up to it. Let's call a spade a spade. And so I look at this and say, okay, Arkansas's 24th in reported football athletic department revenue in football. That is, like I said, above teams like Mississippi State, well above Kentucky, well above Missouri, and above South Carolina, and above Ole Miss. And you say, okay, we're set up to win in basketball. We're set up to win in baseball. First off, they did lose a lot of games in basketball last year, and they were a 10 seed. But that is besides the point. But second off, okay, you're getting out-recruited by Kentucky. How much money is going towards Kentucky's basketball program? So I don't know if that excuse is totally valid. Because yes, Arkansas can be great in basketball and great in baseball, but they can at least be good in football. And they haven't been. And there's history there. There's a fan base there. Your day drive from Dallas, that's a recruiting hub. You can get there. So I think this athletic department should take a firm look in the mirror and say, what do we want Arkansas football to be? Because this fan base deserves more than the results that they are getting right now. Is Sam Pittman the guy? Is he even set up to be the guy? Are the resources being distributed well and efficiently and accordingly for Arkansas to at least be competitive in the SEC? Because Kentucky, Missouri, Mississippi State, programs that are making way less money in their football department than Arkansas is, are out-recruiting Arkansas every single year. And that's an issue. So I think this athletic department should take a really firm look in the mirror and say, who do we want to be? And I think this Memphis loss is utterly a wake-up call